Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Betrayed by Factions and That Power of Absolute Obedience Geass movie. Before we start, please go support Issei1702 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Chapter 1 Prologue. In a cabin in the dark night, and in a lonely forest, outside it was seen that it was being lit by a small candle, and inside there was a chestnut tree sitting in a chair, and it had a frustrated face. Damn factions, damn you searches! Azazel, Michael, Kiba, Saji, Gasper, Ryu, Sakura, Rito, Irena, Alexander the First will take revenge on you, said Issei angrily and covered his left eye with his hand. 5 months ago. After the events of the Rattan game of Serorg Bale against Rias Gremory, Issei had confessed to Rias and the other girls. Issei thought that he would be rejected for not having a strong sacred gear or a magical power, but what surprised him the most was that they had the same feelings as him. He thought it was to solve the problems they had. And Issei without hesitation accepted the feelings of the girls and became boyfriend of Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, Zenobia and Rasweiss. It was a great happiness for Issei, or so he thought. What he didn't know was that his brothers, Ryu, Rito and Sakura, along with Rias's childhood friend, Alexander Citri, were planning behind the shadows a plan to betray Issei. Thanks to the reputation of Ryu, Rito and Sakura, the factions would blame Issei without hesitation. And so it was. Issei, while on a mission, was summoned by the leaders of the other factions, and he obeyed them. Upon arriving alone, he was attacked by the factions. Despite being a great strategist, he was unable to defeat them. The reason they attacked him was that he was working undercover for Rizavim, but the most surprising thing was that his brothers planned it all. Issei was just shocked to hear that his brothers betrayed him. Issei's brothers just smiled mentally. Their plan had worked. Rias and the other girls would be free and would take advantage of their sadness that Issei betrayed them to have them in their favor, and add them as another member of their harem. But if it weren't for the interruption of Rias and the other girls in Dryag, Issei's girls without hesitation fought against the factions despite having a great disadvantage, and Dryag with his full power freed himself from Issei's brother but lost 30% of his power and went to Issei's left arm, making him its new wielder. And he escaped from the underworld along with the other girls. For a long time the other factions, except the Yukai and Dragon factions, searched for Issei in any part of the human world and the supernatural world. Every time they went to a place, demons, angels, fallen and other members of the factions attacked their refuge. Damn those factions! Issei shouted, launching a dragon shot at a group of demons, and they died in the explosion. Suddenly Issei blocked a sword slash with his left arm, and the pressure of the slash made a large hole under Issei's feet. Aag, Issei growled to stop the sword. You're a pain in the ass, aren't you? Ryu, Issei said, annoyed. And his brother only had an arrogant smile, and in his hand he held an unknown sword. Hey bro, long time no see, said Rias smiling. And that? Said Issei, seeing the sword. Do you like it? It's a gift that Ares-sama gave me for rescuing Athena-sama from Rizavim. They are called the Blades of Chaos, powerful swords that allow me to fight against the gods in exchange for feeding them with my anger and revenge against you, said Ryu with a sadistic smile. Swords that feed on your hatred are perfect for you, Issei said. Enough talk, Issei, said Ryu to throw the swords at Issei, and he just dodged the swords. Issei saw that in Ryu's arms there were chains holding the swords. Issei without hesitation launched a dragon shot at Ryu, but he blocked it with his swords. This guy is annoying. Dryag, let's finish him off once and for all, said Issei seriously. Understood, mate, said Dryag's voice. Issei's glove began to glow, and would be covered by a red armor with emerald green gems. Welsh dragon balance break it. Oh, so you've trained the power of that traitorous dragon. This just got more fun, Ryu said in a sadistic tone to jump to give a circular cut with his swords, but Issei with his balance breaker dodged the attack to give him a blow that sent him flying. Ryu flew to crash into a tree, but the brown-haired man came out of the rubble to give him a cut that Issei dodged and kicked him in the abdomen, but Ryu resisted the attack to give several cuts to Issei's chest that almost did not hurt him, but left almost a mark. Issei without hesitation threw a punch in Ryu's face that sent him flying. Surrender, brother, you can't defeat me if you're blinded by hatred, Issei said seriously. Never! Ryu shouted as he launched himself at Issei and launched several cuts all over his body. Suddenly he stopped attacking and an intense fire came out of his swords. What the hell? Issei said in shock. Watch out, buddy! Dryag shouted. Fire of Ares! Ryu shouted, launching an intense fire at Issei, who blocked it but almost destroyed his armor. Damn, that attack almost destroyed my armor, Issei said seriously. That attack could have seriously injured a high-class demon. If your brother uses it at its maximum power, it can seriously injure powerful gods. Dryag explained seriously. We have to use that, but I haven't fully mastered it, Issei said seriously, and Dryag just stayed silent. I, who is about to awaken, am the Red Dragon Emperor who has discarded the principles of domination. I will walk the path of righteousness with endless hopes and dreams. I will become the Crimson Dragon King. And I promise you all, I will show you the future that shines in true crimson light. Issei now had a slightly lighter deep red armor. Now, said Issei, turning on his thrusters and launched himself at Ryu, who just stood still, and without hesitation he punched him in the face, but Ryu blocked them with his swords. Issei just kicked him in the abdomen, which sent him flying. Take this! Issei shouted, and his arm grew, and now Issei had a giant arm. Issei hit Ryu in the chest, which sent him flying, crashing into several trees. Damn you, Issei D! Ryu shouted to throw the Chaos Swords at Issei, who blocked them without any problem. Partner, there are 5 minutes left for the transformation to undo itself. Finish it quickly, said Dryag seriously, and Issei just nodded. Issei activated his thrusters to head towards Ryu, and he launched his swords again, but Issei dodged them again and kicked Ryu. Take this, Fong Blast boosted! Issei shouted as some cannons appeared behind him and fired a large energy beam. Ryu received it with a blow, causing a large explosion. Ryu fell to the floor suddenly, and Issei just stared. Surrender, brother, said Issei seriously. Ha ha ha, Ryu laughed at. What are you laughing at? Issei said seriously. I'm not coming alone, said Ryu, surprising Issei, and instinctively dodged an attack. What the hell? Issei said in shock. Partner, escape, said Dryag. Issei saw from above the 3 faction leaders along with some soldiers, the Citri, Bale and Phoenix clan, Sakura, Rito, Alexander and Vala's team. We finally found you, Issei Hayato, said Searches seriously. Issei-kun, give yourself up, your punishment will be less cruel, said Azazel seriously. Issei, please don't make this any harder, Michael said seriously. Surrender, brother, said Rito. You're at a disadvantage, little brother, said Sakura. Calm down, Issei, no one will hurt you, said Alexander. Never. When you capture me, you will surely torture me until I lose consciousness and sanity. Why do you think I would betray you? I have always fulfilled your every whim. Have I never fulfilled your every whim? You are despicable, said Issei furiously. Is that all you have to say? Said Searches. Finish him! The faction leaders shouted, and all of them attacked Issei. End of flashback. What a confrontation you had, mate, said Dryag. Yes, said Issei, removing his hand from his left eye, leaving a large scar. But wow, you were almost dead. If it weren't for the Nikomata's interruption, you would be dead, said Dryag seriously. Yes, but, Issei said. But your brother left you that big scar on your eye, said Dryag seriously. Damn, this has to end. I can't keep running and hiding like an animal. Rias and the others are already tired. If this continues, I'm sure I'll be dead. The easiest way would be to fight to the death against the factions, but in my state I can't face them, said Issei seriously. There must be a faster way to get stronger, Issei whispered seriously. Comrade, I know a way to make you stronger, said Dryag. Really? Issei said seriously. Yes, it is an ability created by one of the former carriers, but that ability is forbidden, said Dryag seriously. And what's that one called? Issei said seriously and determined. It's called Dragon Eyes, the ability to subdue and control any being against its will. an ability that my former bearers used to control women against their will," said Dryag seriously. Chapter 2, Eye Dragon. Eye's Dragon, the ability to subdue and control any being against its will, an ability that my former wielders used to control women against their will, said Dryag seriously to Issei. Eye's Dragon? Said Issei seriously. Just as you heard, Eye's Dragon, a skill forbidden by the ancient carriers of the boosted gear for being extremely dangerous, said Dryag Cedio. It sounds like a pretty interesting skill, but why was it banned? Issei said curiously. To know why it was banned, I would have to tell you the origin of that ability, said Dryag seriously. Go ahead, Issei said seriously. Now I'm going to. He couldn't continue because he was interrupted by a knock on the door. Who is it? Said Issei. It's me, Issei, said Rias's voice behind the door, and Issei opened the door. Hello Rias, you're back, Issei said, greeting Rias. Hey Issei, we came back from the city to buy food, the other girls are waiting for you to eat, Rias said to Issei. I'm going there, said Issei to go with Rias to the living room. In the room. The former Gremory girls were gathered in the living room, where there was only a wooden table with chairs and a candle lighting the room. The girls were gathered in the living room. Hello Issei-kun/san/senpai, said the girls greeting Issei. Hello everyone, said Issei greeting everyone. Hello Issei Naya, said Kuroka greeting Issei. Ah hello Kuroka, said Issei greeting Kuroka. Issei sat down on the chair at the table and Asia served him some soup. Eat a little Issei-san, you haven't eaten anything for a week, Asia said. Ah sorry Asia, I don't feel like eating, I'm worried if they find us again, said Issei looking at the window seriously. Issei-san, calm down, Asia said calmly to Issei. Yes, I know, I'm just worried that the factions will find us again and kill us, or worse that they'll lock me up in Tartarus and you'll be my brother's slaves, Issei said worriedly. Calm down Issei, if you come here we'll kick your ass, said Rias. I think the same, said Akeno. Us too, said the other girls. Thanks girls for loving this guy, Issei said with a smile. Issei, remember that you were the person who defeated Razor with your intelligence, said Rias, remembering the rating game of Rias against Razor. Thanks to you for rescuing me from Reincarnation, Asia said. You accepted my fallen side no matter what. Your brothers always looked at me with a bad face just for being half-fallen angel, said Akeno happily. You were the person who gave me the strength to use my power, Kaneko said. At first I thought about making a baby with your brother Ryu, but when I saw his true personality, your great willpower and determination, and that he betrayed you, I realized that he is not worth it, said Zenobia. You were the person who rescued me from Ryzavim's cursed servant. I thank you very much, said Rosweiss. It was nothing, girls, Issei said smiling. Well, now we have to think about our next plan, Issei said seriously. It's true, I'm sure the factions won't take long to find us, said Rosweiss. Well, we have three options. The first would be to go to the Dragon faction and ask them to train me. The second would be to find Ophis, and the last is an option that will put our reputation at risk, Issei said seriously. The first option is the most reasonable. Dragons are the most powerful race. You could ask them to train you. The second option is very complicated. The last time we saw Ophis was when she was betrayed by the Chaos Brigade. Since then we haven't heard from her again. The third, what is it? Said Rias. It would be the third option. Join the Chaos Brigade, Issei said seriously about that option. What? The girls said in surprise. Issei, are you crazy? Rias said. I know that many are surprised by that option, but it is an option that I chose in case the two options fail. Besides, we are being wanted by the factions for treason, Issei said seriously. I think you're right, the factions are looking for us as criminals. It won't take long for the Chaos Brigade to come after us to recruit us, Rias said seriously. Exactly, I'm sure Ryzavim won't be long in appearing in front of us, Issei said. Leaving that aside, there's something that makes me think, Issei said. What is Issei? Rias said. In that case, my friend Kuroka from Minera series. Kuroka, could you explain to me, why did you save me? Issei said seriously. Hey, what do you mean, Naya? Kuroka said nervously. I mean the reason why you saved me when I was attacked by the factions, but suddenly you saved me from dying for no reason. He did nothing for you in your life. The only time we met was when you tried to kidnap Kaneko-chan. Tell me why you did it, said Issei seriously, making Kuroka nervous. Now that I think about it, it's true because you saved Issei, Rias said seriously. All the girls gave me a serious look at the Nikomata. Kuroka said nervously. Issei, could you leave us alone? We'll just talk to Kuroka, Rias said seriously. Okay, after all I need to think about something, said Issei to go to his room and leave the girls alone. Issei's son. The brown-haired boy was lying in his bed while he was thoughtful until he spoke. Dryad, can you hear me? Said Issei. Loud and clear, mate, said Dryad. Could you tell me the origin of the Eye Dragon ability? Said Issei. Sure, mate, after all I was going to tell you, said Dryad seriously. For thousands of years, when there was no technology, there were only pure castles and ordinary villages. Before you, the idiot Ryu, Elsha and Belzard became my bearers, there existed an arrogant and disgusting man, a person who earned money working as a mercenary. His name was Vault, one of the oldest bearers of the boosted gear. He had a very strange dream, which was to make a nation where women meet the needs of men. Vault thought of many strategies to conquer all the kingdoms, until one day he thought of a great idea. He dreamed of having the ability to control people. He dreamed of it so as not to have problems with politicians and princesses, but how would he achieve that ability? With magic? With effort? With blood? Many questions were asked in the head of that mercenary, but he found the answer on the battlefield. During his conquest, he had in his power almost all the kingdoms of his country. When he was about to conquer the last kingdom, an ice dragon appeared before him. He believed he could defeat it, but he couldn't defeat it because he never reached the balance breaker. Because of that, he lost his right eye and his arm. So he decided to give his eyes and arms in exchange for power, and he fulfilled it, and thanks to that he defeated the ice dragon. From that day on, Vault was feared throughout the country, and it didn't take long for the consequences of having dragon eyes and arms to appear. His arms turned into scales and his eyes became those of a dragon. He tried to relieve the pain with dragonic energy. A big mistake on his part. The next day, when he was resting, his group was attacked by an army of soldiers from another country. He was too weak to fight. He saw how his army was about to be destroyed. He felt fury and rage. Those feelings were enough to reach the juggernaut driver. He shouted the word stop. When he said those words, the soldiers of the army and his soldiers stopped moving. Having this, he was in shock. With just saying a word, they all stopped, but Vault decided to confirm it by saying, "Move, my soldiers," and that was it. Vault's soldiers moved and the enemy soldiers did not move, and having this, he was impressed and realized something. The ability to control people was in his hands. He felt a mixture of emotion and happiness, so that he used that ability to conquer the next country, which is a kingdom called the Ostia. And so he conquered all the countries in just a few days and was able to create the nation that he dreamed of so much. No one in the kingdom could stop him until the bearer of Albion arrived, and both fought to the death. Vault tried to use his ability to control, but it had no effect on him, and because of this, Vault died and the mercenaries' reign fell. But the ability still resided in the boosted gear. It wasn't long before another bearer discovered the ability and used it to get revenge on his father, and so it was my bearers discovered the Eye Dragon ability and used it to get revenge or satisfy their desires. Even a woman used it, but the most surprising thing is that a guy named Katsuma improved the ability, that every time he marks a female, the bearer would copy the female's powers, and thanks to that improvement, Katsuma became one of the most powerful bearers of the boosted gear, even subdued the bearer of Albion. If it weren't for Ophus's interruption, the world would be doomed. After that, it would pass to another bearer, and it wasn't long before he discovered the ability and became the last bearer of the Eyes Dragon. The boy was named Ryuto. At first I thought he would use the ability to get revenge or satisfy his desires, but it wasn't like that. He wasn't interested in hypnotizing people. The only one he wanted was to be a fair knight, although he used that ability to get information from corrupt politicians, bandits, mercenaries, and supernatural beings. Like Katsuma, he created two abilities. One where he could read the movements of his opponents, and one where he used the ability to control people but maintained the consciousness of the controlled being. It didn't take long for him to get his harem. But it didn't take long for the bearer of Albion to appear, and they fought to a draw. For years Ryuto died, but not before leaving offspring. When his soul entered the boosted gear, he spoke to me about sealing the Eye's dragon ability, and I agreed with him, and with a little of my power the ability was sealed forever so that no one else would use it, and so time passed, no one used that ability ever again. I thought that no one would use that ability, but since we are in a critical situation, and we have no other choice. Dryag told the story of the Eye's dragon. Issei, upon hearing the story of the ability, was surprised and never expected it to be so dangerous. Dryag, your former carriers were really dangerous, Issei said in shock. What did you expect? We are dragons, creatures of destruction and creation, said Dryag seriously. Well, partner, now you will have to decide whether or not to accept the Eye's dragon ability. If you accept it, there will be no turning back, said Dryag seriously. Issei just sighed at Dryag's words. In my current condition I cannot face searches, Azazel and Michael and their factions. They also have the support of the Nordic, Greek, Indian factions and the other factions. My brothers are very strong, but I can face my brothers, but I cannot fight against the faction leaders, and the gods of each faction will kill me. Also, I do not want to join the Chaos Brigade. If the forbidden ability was able to subdue a Hakuroku carrier, it must be very powerful. If I train that ability, I will be able to face it, and I have a plan to defeat my brothers psychologically, said Issei, serious and determined. You always impress me, buddy. By the way, what plan do you have for your brothers? Said Dryag seriously. You'll know, Issei said, smiling, and the brown-haired boy lay down and closed his eyes. Here we go, Issei said as he entered the boosted gear. In the boosted gear, Issei was walking in a dark place until he saw a light in front of him. When Issei entered, he was in a kind of white room. Around him were the former carriers of the boosted gear with an empty look and wearing white robes. Hello everyone, said Issei, greeting his senpais, but no one responded. It was to be expected, said Issei. Is something wrong, mate? Said Dryag. I'm just a little nervous about acquiring that power. I don't know why they created such a dangerous ability. I know it's to fulfill their ambitions, but go to such an extreme, said Issei. Humans are beings full of surprises. You never know how far they can go, said Dryag seriously. Well, anyway, Elsha-san, you're here, said Issei, the name of the former carrier. You spoke to me, Sekirudii, said a blonde woman in a purple dress approaching Issei. I need you to tell me about an explanation later. I see, so Dryag told you about the Eye's dragon ability, Elsha said. Dryag, you swore never to speak of that ability, said Elsha. I know, but we are in a very complicated situation. Besides, my partner wanted power and I'm giving it to him, said Dryag seriously. Well, you're right, your current carrier is being hunted by the factions and is weak. He can't stand up to all the factions, said Elsha. We have no other choice after all. I don't want him to die and be back with that idiot Ryu, said Elsha. Follow me, I'll guide you, Elsha said, and Issei nodded. Minutes later, the two carriers could be seen walking through a dark place until a purple light illuminated their path. Upon entering, they would be in a kind of dungeon. In front there was a steel bar, and inside was a kind of small red chest with green stripes, and in front of him was a man with brown hair. His bangs covered his eyes. He had a tight black suit that marked his muscles. He was sitting in an armchair, and he was smiling. Well, look who we have here, the most powerful bearer of that red dragon. Why do you come here? To be my hitch? Ha ha ha, the man laughed, disgusting the woman. As always, you are a disgusting Katsuma, said Elsha. Who's the new guy? Said the man named Katsuma. I am Hayate Issei, the current wearer of the boosted gear. It's a pleasure to meet you, senpai, said Issei. The current bearer? And why did you come here to greet everyone? Katsuma said. He's not here for that, Katsuma, Elsha said. And what did he come for? Said Katsuma. He came to obtain the power that is locked in that chest, the dragon eyes, said Elsha would be. Ha 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 ha, Katsuma laughed like crazy. Now what happens? Said Elsha. Ha ha ha, I laugh because the current bearer is looking for the power of the Dragon Eyes, an ability hated by Dryag and all the bearers. Many wanted this ability to be destroyed, but now they come so that the current bearer has it. How funny, said Katsuma. It's for whoever has power, said Elsha pointing at Issei. For him to have power, did he lose a battle? Katsuma said seriously. And only Issei nodded seriously, and he explained the situation he was in. You couldn't live with their failure. Where did that take them? Back to me, Katsuma said seriously. It's just. He couldn't continue because Katsuma spoke. On your knees! Katsuma ordered, and Issei got on his knees. I can't move my body, Issei said, trying to move. Issei saw Katsuma's left eye change. Is this the power of the Dragon Eyes? Said Katsuma. Impossible, that ability belongs to Ryuto, said Elsha, surprised. I stole it from that idiot Ryuto now, said Katsuma, approaching Issei. You say you want the power of the Dragon Eyes so you can defeat the factions and your brothers, but tell me, how will you master this cursed ability? All the bearers of this power were consumed by their desire for power and ambition. If you don't believe me, ask them, said Katsuma. Suddenly shadows appeared surrounding Katsuma, and boys the same age as Issei and a girl appeared. All of them had their eyes covered. So this is the one who wants the power of the Dragon Eyes? One of the boys said to Issei. He looks weak. I feel hatred, but it's not that strong. I don't feel ambitions or desires in him. Should he want the power of the Eyes Dragon? Ha ha ha, so he wants the power I created to conquer 2 countries and form my nation, said a man with brown skin, black tan, black armor covering his body, a metal shoulder pad on his left shoulder, and had the symbol of a black dog, a black glove on his left hand, and a sword on his back. That's right, Vault, this kid wants your original ability, said Katsuma, mocking Issei. I refuse to give him my power, said Vault, kicking Issei, but Elsha would help him. Seriously, do you think I'm going to give you my power so easily, not even as a joke? Now kneel before me, Vault ordered Issei, and his left eye changed. And Issei knelt in front of Vault. Look at you, so helpless and in an embarrassing position, ha 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 ha, said Vault, stepping on Issei's head. Elsha wanted to help him, but it was Issei's test, and he just watched the scene. You don't have the power, the courage, the desires, or even the ambitions, said Vault, stepping on Issei. Ambitions, desires, the 2 proofs that the living being has goals or dreams, and that the being would not hesitate to sacrifice everything in its path in order to see its dream come true. My brother Ryu has the dream of being the king of the harem. My brother Rito wants to be the strongest dragon of all. My sister Sakura wants to be a queen. Sona wants to build a school for raiding games where low-class devils practice the raiding games. Rias wants to be the empress of the raiding games. Sarorg wants to be a demon king. Everyone has an ambition, but I have no ambitions or desires. I am just a reincarnated who has never had a legendary power, and luckily now has a sacred gear. No, I have nothing, I am trash, Issei thought while his eyes were closed. Wake up, idiot, said Dryag's voice in Issei's head. Hey Dryag, said Issei. Do you think you're doing it? Said Dryag angrily. What do you mean? Issei said. What I mean is, they let you get kicked and you just lower your head like it's the most normal thing, Dryag shouted at Issei. Well, said Issei, trying to find an answer. But nothing, you just knelt down because you think you're weak, trash and a rock in the way of others, and you want to know something? You're weak and you have no ambition or desires, you're a hindrance, that's why your brothers bothered you and mistreated you. When you arrived in the supernatural world, the supernatural beings called you weak, useless, because they reincarnated a weak person like you. Because you're not like your brothers and you're not the one to protect your females, said Dryag, and Issei just remained silent. But even so, you kept going despite the comments from your family, demons, angels, fallen, Nordic, Greek, Indus, and the other factions. You showed this weak that you could become someone. You got up and fought against any enemy. So take away that of you being weak, because you are not. You are strong, intelligent, determined, noble. Many things characterize you. That is why I chose you as my bearer. So get up and do not say that you have no ambition or desire, because you do, said Dryag, and Issei only thought. Remember the Gremory girl and the other girls, said Dryag. Issei thought about Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, Zenobia and Rosweiss. He met Rias and had fallen in love with her but was afraid of being rejected for being a weak devil, but when he defeated Razor and told her that he would protect her, she fell in love with him. And every problem the girls had was fixed, and told them that he would protect them with his life despite not having a great power. That's it, I promised the girls that I would protect them no matter how much harm they suffered. Some members of their families approved of my relationship with them. I will protect Rias Gremory, Akeno Himejima, Kaneko Tuju, Asia Argento, Zenobia Quarta and Rosweiss. I promised them, Issei shouted with a serious and determined face. That's the way to talk, said an unknown voice. Suddenly a light appeared and from there came out a boy with red hair. His bangs covered his eyes. He was wearing a red suit with a symbol drawn on his chest, metal shoulder pads on his left shoulder, protectors on his wrists, a sword at his waist. Who are you? Said Issei. Ryoto, how long has it been since I've seen you? Said Dryag. Hey Dryag, it's been a long time too, said Ryoto smiling. It seems you're going to give him the ability, said Dryag. Really? Issei said in surprise. That's right, said Ryoto, and in his hand he held the chest that was locked behind bars. It's the, Issei said looking at the chest. In this chest the Dragon Eyes ability is kept sealed. When you open it the seal will break and you will get the Dragon Eyes ability as well as the abilities improved by the ancient users of this power, but I'm going to tell you something first before you open it, said Ryoto seriously. In order to use the Dragon Eyes ability, it is necessary to give up your eyes and replace them with Dragon Eyes. Like all power, it has limits. If you overuse this ability, your eyes will suffer damage. Finally, do not fall to the power, said Ryoto seriously. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, Issei said nodding. Dryag, do it, said Issei seriously. Okay buddy, said Dryag knowing what he meant. Issei felt a great pain in his eyes, so intense, like when your eyes burn. Issei realized that his eyes were bleeding. The pain disappeared and Issei's eyes were still normal. Okay, now here, said Ryoto handing over the chest. I have a question, why are you giving me the ability? Said Issei. Well now, said Issei opening the chest. Ha ha ha, he stopped moving, said Vault kicking Issei. He died for sure, ha ha ha. Suddenly Issei stood up. Oh look, he's up. Well, it was to be expected that I would remove the spell. Now kneel down and kiss my foot, Vault ordered Issei, but nothing happened. But what? Said Vault. The others tried but nothing happened. Why is nothing happening? Said Katsuma. It won't be that, Katsuma said in shock and looked behind him to see that the chest was not on the bars. It can't be, said Vault. You guys just realized? Said Issei, covering his left eye. Suddenly Issei removes his hand, revealing in his left eye the same symbol that Katsuma and Vault had. What? Haida Issei, current security eye, orders you to disappear from my sight. Issei ordered all the former bearers of the Dragon Eyes. And so it was that the ancient bearers vanished as if the wind had taken them away. It seems you already got the ability, said Elsha approaching Issei. Yes, I know, Issei said seriously, showing the same mark on his left eye, and disappeared. From that day on I realized that my life changed in an instant. My name was going to be feared by the factions and by the most powerful humans, that it put a smile on my face. Opening. Even if you go to the world with yourself. The eye dragon mark is shown on Issei's eye and it began to glow. What kind of soba is this? Issei's memories were seen before being betrayed by the factions. 2. Issei is seen in his uniform. Around him there was a blue sky and he had a slightly sad expression. Next to him was the silhouette of an older woman, and next to her was a girl with orange hair. The sky would change to a dark one and the silhouette of a masked man appeared along with Issei. The person who died by Mitsum. A masked man in a purple and black suit is seen standing on a building and he turns around revealing his cape. Mea Nagara Nea Managara Quia Managara Kimariba 2. The entire Gremry clan is seen appearing from one side to the other plus Kuroka, a blonde-haired girl with pigtails wearing a white dress, a blue-haired girl, a blonde man with black tips in his hair and other girls. Kimi Jie Kurita Hitatsuta Madu Wakizar. Ryu, Rito, Sakura and Alexander are seen along with the faction leaders, and then the scene changes to Issei along with the female members of the Gremry clan plus Kuroka, the blonde girl, the others, Yasaka and Kunu. They were all in the Yukai faction. The light shines on my roommates. Issei is seen on a hill and he activates his dragon eyes and then smiles. Miyajita Ozora is a great success. Issei is seen in his balance breaker fighting an army of demons, and then changes to a scene of Issei taking out a strange silver sword and a green aura surrounding him. Tozushita Mado wa Hiraka Kodo Kameda. You could see all of Issei's girls launching their best attacks. The blonde she launched fireballs, the blue-haired girl launched ice blasts, the blonde man launched dark attacks, and the others launched their attacks. Even if you go to the world with yourself. Rias is seen launching the power of destruction at searches. Issei is seen riding a horse in a landscape, and the scene changes showing a Ryu with a confident and arrogant smile. What kind of soba is this? The masked man is seen at sunset. He would take off his mask revealing his identity. It was Issei and he put on a serious look. Chapter 3. To the Yukai faction and planning rescue. The next day. Ex-Gremry's cabin. In Issei's room, the brown-haired boy could be seen waking up in his bed. Next to him was Kuroka, who hugged him affectionately. "She looks very cute asleep," Issei said, seeing the Nikomata sleeping. "At first I planned to make you my ally, subordinate and servant, but I see that will not be the case," said Issei looking at Kuroka. Suddenly the Nikomata woke up. "Ah, good morning Issei-sama," said Kuroka hugging Issei. "Good morning Kuroka. Judging by your attitude tomorrow it means that you slept very well," Issei said smiling. "You were so wild in bed, you did every position of the Kama Sutra on me," said Kuroka. I know I was very wild with you," Issei said smiling. Issei started putting on his clothes to start standing. "Now Kuroka, come closer!" Issei ordered Kuroka, and without hesitation she knelt in front of Issei, and that was even though the brunette didn't use her ability. "Well Kuroka, as you can see on your left thigh you have the mark of the Sekyuryutai. It means that you are mine. If someone else touches you I will kill the bastard. It will also mean that you are under my protection and that I am your master. Remember that Kuroka," said Issei seriously to Kuroka. "Yes Issei-sama, I am only yours and no one else's," said Kuroka blushing. "I hope so," Issei said seriously. "Well now I have to explain this to the girls if they find out I'm dead," Issei said out loud, believing he was thinking. "And what will you tell them?" said a voice next to Issei. "Well, I'll tell you that." He couldn't continue because he recognized the voice. Next to her was Rias with a serious and annoyed face. Behind her was Akeno with her typical, but you can see she was annoyed. Asia had a slightly sad expression. Kaneko had an annoyed face despite having her typical face. Zenobia had a slightly annoyed face. Roswise had a serious face. "Gee, good morning girls," said Issei, nervous from the girls' looks. "Issei, could you explain why you did it with Kuroka?" Rias said with a calm but threatening voice, and the other girls were the same. "Well, there is an explanation for this, but could you stop preparing magic attacks?" Issei said nervously, looking at several magic circles. Opening. Even if you go to the world with yourself. The eye dragon mark is shown on Issei's eye and it began to glow. What kind of soba is this? Issei's memories were seen before being betrayed by the factions. 2. Issei is seen in his uniform. Around him there was a blue sky and he had a slightly sad expression. Next to him was the silhouette of an older woman, and next to her was a girl with orange hair. The sky would change to a dark one and the silhouette of a masked man appeared along with Issei. The person who died by Mitsum. A masked man in a purple and black suit is seen standing on a building and he turns around revealing his cape. Maya Nagara Nea Managara Kwaya Managara Kimariba 2. The entire Gremry clan is seen appearing from one side to the other plus Kuroka, a blonde-haired girl with pigtails wearing a white dress, a blue-haired girl, a blonde man with black tips in his hair, and other girls. Kimi ga Kurita Hitatsuta Madu Wakizar. Ryu, Rito, Sakura, and Alexander are seen along with the faction leaders, and then the scene changes to Issei along with the female members of the Gremory clan plus Kuroka, the blonde girl, the others, Yasaka and Konu. They were all in the Yukai faction. The light shines on my roommates. Issei is seen on a hill and he activates his dragon eyes and then smiles. Miyajito Ozora is a great success. Issei is seen in his balance breaker fighting an army of demons, and then changes to a scene of Issei taking out a strange silver sword and a green aura surrounding him. You could see all of Issei's girls launching their best attacks. The blonde she launched fireballs, the blue-haired girl launched ice blasts, the blonde man launched dark attacks, and the others launched their attacks. Even if you go to the world with yourself. Rias is seen launching the power of destruction at searches. Issei is seen riding a horse in a landscape, and the scene changes showing a Ryu with a confident and arrogant smile. What kind of soba is this? The masked man is seen at sunset. He would take off his mask revealing his identity. It was Issei and he put on a serious look. Findel opening. An explanation later. Let me see if I understood. You're saying that Dryag gave you a power that was forbidden by Dryag. After that you entered the boosted gear to get the ability, but you had to convince the former carriers to have the ability, and you got it with some complications. After that you decided to use the ability on Kuroka so she would tell you the plans of the factions, and that they used Kuroka to give information to the factions and inform Val of our location, and that they are threatening Kuroka to kill Magari, one of the leaders of the Yukai faction, to make her more obedient. And that you offered her to join you, but she was not afraid of being killed yet, and you bet with her to join and you succeeded, but then she got excited and you made love to her, you marked her, and she became your ally, said Rias, understanding Issei's explanation. Exactly, said Issei, smiling. Thanks for explaining everything to us, but there's something I'm not sure about, Braswise said doubtfully. And what is it? Said Zenobia. What is the forbidden power of the boosted gear? Said Braswise and the others too. Let's just say it's one to control living beings. It was banned by the boosted gear because the bearers of this power used it to satisfy their desires or for revenge, said Issei, explaining the ability. Era, I would like to see it, said Akeno sarcastically. Okay, he said to activate his dragon eyes, and his sun changed. What the girls said in surprise. Kneel! Issei ordered the ex-Gremory, and they began to kneel in front of Issei. What the heck? Rias said in shock. I can't move, said Zenobia, trying to move. This is the power that Issei-san acquired, said Asia. Era, you went wild, Issei-kun, said Akeno. Issei began to make his eyes disappear and return them to how they were before. What you just got was my new power, Dragon Eyes, said Issei, covering his left eye. It really is such a dangerous skill, Rias said nervously. Don't worry, I won't use it on you to satisfy my desires. I'll only use you to give revenge and cause psychological pain to the factions, said Issei, smiling. And now, as you can see, Kuroka is now my servant, our ally, and she, having my mark, became my lover. If she betrays me, I will order her to commit suicide. Did you hear right? Said Issei seriously. If you really subdued Kuroka and marked her, I think I can trust her, Rias said. If Issei-senpai could subdue Nei-sama, I think I can trust her, said Kaneko. The other girls nodded. We'll let it go this time, but on one condition, Rias said. And what is it? Said Issei with the same attitude. We want you to mark us like you did to Kuroka, Rias said. What are you saying? Issei said, understanding what Rias meant. That's right, we want you to be our females, Rias said, and the others nodded. Well, okay, Issei said a little nervously. Well, leaving aside, during the talk with Kuroka I've been thinking about our next one, Issei said seriously. And what's the next move? Rias said. Rescue Magari-sama from the factions, Issei said seriously, surprising everyone. Wait, Issei, we don't know where they're hiding Magari-sama, and even if we know where they're hiding her, the factions will attack us and lock us up in Tartarus forever, said Rias. I knew you would say that, That's why I have planned a plan, Issei said to Rias. And what is it? Rias said curiously. I'll explain it to you when we're at the Yukai faction. There we'll take refuge and plan the rescue together with Yasaka-sama, said Issei smiling. But if they don't let us in, Kaneko said nervously. If so, phase 1 of the plan definitely failed, Issei said seriously, getting shocked. Now it's time to go to the Yukai faction and plan the rescue of Magari-sama, said Issei to activate a magic circle and transport everyone to the Yukai faction. Elsewhere. Mansion of the Agar's clan. A girl with green hair and a hint of yellow could be seen. She had light red eyes, she was wearing transparent glasses, and she was wearing a blue robe with green accents. It was Sikveria Agar's. She was in a large room, and everywhere there were tools and large-scale mecha figures. Wow, it was really hard to make this mecha model, said Sikveria looking at the mecha. But I'm done at last, Sikveria said with pride in her words. What do you think, Issei? Said Sikveria, the name of the brown-haired boy, but saw that he was not there. Oh yes, he's not here, Sikveria said sadly. Suddenly someone takes her by the shoulder. Who is it? Said Sikveria, her tone serious and cold. Oh come on little sister, it's me, your older brother Alexander, said Alexander in a happy tone. Oh yes, it's you Alexander, said Sikveria moving away from her brother. And that coldness? Not even a hug for your dear older brother? Said Alexander. You know I'm still mad at you, Sikveria said, her words cold. Oh come on, I know you're upset that I proposed that you be engaged to Ryu, but it was so that the Agar's clan would gain prestige. Also, since you're not the heir to the Agar's clan, they'll be engaging you to an heir from another clan or to someone powerful, Alexander said seriously. I will never marry that idiot Ryu, all I want is to be left alone, said Sikveria. You can't do anything, you are not the heir of the Agar's clan, said Alexander seriously. Now if you allow me, I'll go to my room, said Alexander, leaving Sikveria alone. I wish you were here, Issei, you are the only person who understands me, said Sikveria with a bit of sadness in her words. Elsewhere. Alexander could be seen in a dungeon. He would stop and see that in one of the cells was a white-haired girl. She had cat ears, a kimono and 7 cat tails. Wow, how are you today, kitty, or should I call you Magari? Said Alexander. Seriously, what a cowardly act you guys are doing, Magari said with hatred in his words. What did you expect? We need to do everything possible to capture the traitor Issei, Alexander said laughing. But kidnapping me? Do you know that this can cause a war between the Yukai faction? Magari said. We already know that, said Alexander. I know that this action can cause a war between the faction of the demons and the Yukai faction, but we do it to catch Issei and fulfill Sama's plan, said Alexander seriously, and he would withdraw. What plan are you talking about? Magari said. You'll know when we conquer the other factions, Alexander said as he left the place, leaving Magari in shock. Oh, I can't believe it, I need to get out of here, Magari said. If it weren't for these chains that don't let you use my power, said Magari, chained. Who will prevent the destruction of the Yukai faction? Magari said. With Issei and the others. They had arrived in Kyoto and entered one of the temples of the city. Suddenly several kitsunes appeared surrounding Issei and the girls. Relax, we didn't come to attack you, said Issei, raising his arms. How can we be sure of the words of someone who is being sought by the factions? Said one of the kitsunes. I do this so as not to have problems with you. Besides, I came here to talk to Yasaka-sama, said Issei seriously. I'm sorry, but we can't take you to where Yasaka-sama is. She's very busy with Magari-sama's disappearance, said one of the yokais to Issei. How about I tell you that I have a plan to rescue Magari-sama, said Issei, impressing the yokais. But we still can't take you. We don't want any problems, especially with someone who is being sought by the factions, said one of the nervous yokai. Damn, phase 1 failed and that was the most important one. Do I have to use the dragon eyes on them? Issei thought, frustrated. Before he could use the eyes dragon, someone got in the way. Wait a moment, said a familiar voice to Issei and the girls. Ah, it's good to see you again, Kunu, said Issei looking at the little kitsune. Hello Issei-san and Gremory girls, said Kunu seriously. It's true what you say Issei-san, about that you have a plan to save Magari-san, said Kunu seriously. Yes, I have a plan to save Magari-sama, but first I need to talk to Yasaka-sama, said Issei seriously. Okay fine, I'll trust you after all you helped my mother rescue her from the hero faction, said Kunu. Yes, Issei thought happily and the girls sighed quietly. Minutes later. Issei, the girls and Kuroka could be seen in a large room with a traditional atmosphere and in front of them were Yasaka and Kunu with serious looks. Hello hi to Issei and the other Gremory girls, Yasaka said seriously looking at those present. Calm down Yasaka-sama, I'm not going to attack you or anything, I just want to talk to you, Issei said seriously. If so, I want you to tell me your plan to rescue Magari-san from the demon faction, said Issei surprising Issei. What? Issei thought confused and then he looked at Kuroka and just put on the same face. Well just tell me where is the place where Magari-san was kidnapped, said Issei. It was in the east while I was walking, suddenly it disappeared, the only thing we found were traces of demonic magic, Yasaka said. I see, and they haven't called or anything? Issei said and Yasaka shook her head. Yes, for months ago the factions asked our faction for help to find you, hi to Issei, said Yasaka looking at Issei. They said it was because you had joined the Chaos Brigade but I didn't believe what they said and we rejected the offer, Yasaka said. Well now tell us your plan, said Yasaka. My plan to rescue would be to first call the demon faction and make an exchange with them, Issei said seriously. And how will we do that? Said Yasaka. You have it in front of you, said Issei raising his arms. Are you going to use yourself as a bargaining chip? Yasaka said. Exactly, after all I'm looking for the factions, Issei said smiling. Are you going to give yourself up so Magari can be free? Yasaka said in surprise, which made the girls worry. That won't happen, that's why I have something in mind to avoid being captured by the factions, said Issei and Yasaka was confused. Why would I deceive them? Said Issei smiling. Wait, are you going to? Said Yasaka understanding Issei's plan. That's right, for that I'm going to need the Jujutsu masters to deceive the factions, and there's no better place than the UI faction, that's why I turned to you and the UI faction, what do you say Yasaka? Issei said extending his hand to the kitsune. And what if the plan fails? Yasaka said uncertainly. I am Haida Issei, a strategist who has caught the attention of the heirs of the underworld and the leaders. I will not fail, said Issei smiling. All right, I hope you rescue Magari, Yasaka said to shake Issei's hand. After. Well, the first phase was a success, now let's move on to the next phase, said Issei smiling. Kuroka, I want you to send a communication magic circle to Searches, tell him that you captured me and that we make an exchange, Issei said seriously and Kuroka nodded. Wow, it seems you managed to convince Yasaka-sama, Rias said to Issei. That's right, Issei said seriously. So your plan is to fool with the enemy? Rias said. But do you think it will work? Knowing Searches, he will surely send your brothers and some more to capture you, said Rias. I'm aware of that, Rias, Issei said seriously, leaving Rias confused. That's why I have a plan that I haven't told anyone. This plan will make us gain an ally and 2 temporary allies, probably, Issei said smiling. And what will your plan be? Issei-sama, I already contacted Searches, and he wants to contact you to see if it's true, said Kuroka. On, give me the call, Issei said seriously and a magic circle appeared in his ear. Ola Issei-kun. Searches, said Issei with a fake angry tone. How do you feel knowing that Kuroka betrayed you just to get information and your location? It's the worst, plus Kuroka told me that you threatened to kill Magari-sama. Oh, so the Nikomata told you everything, and told you that you're going to be exchanged to free Magari? No. Ha ha ha, well now you know, ha ha ha. And so you can see that I'm not bad, and also because I contribute a lot to the demonic faction, I'll let you say one condition, the one you want. I see, then I want you to send Alexander Agar's, Kiba Yudo, Saji Gentra, and Ain Lucifer as messengers. That's my condition. Do you accept its searches? Okay, I accept. Enjoy your last moments with the girls, ha! Phase 1 of the secret plan, success, said Issei with a smile, in the style of Lelouch 6 Britannia. Ending. Ikeda's son, Tora, and I are the only ones who have been able to live with the children of the Akane family. Issei could be seen sitting on a large hill while he was looking at the landscape. Even though I was still young. I was still young. The scene changes showing a child Issei. He had an angry expression, and behind him were 2 people and 3 small children looking at Issei. The Sakudatsu in Ira no Nyanai Sanaka wa Iba. Mayu no Hideo no Maiju wa Izanami. Rias and all the members of the Gremory clan could be seen sitting in the occult club room. The first. Yum is a shy person. A blue-haired girl is seen sitting on a chair, and it was dark around her, and in front of her was a fence. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Issei is seen as a child being accompanied by an orange-haired girl. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but... I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. A blond boy with black tips is seen, a 5-pointed star on his cheek, wearing a black uniform. Next to him was a girl with purple hair and eyes of the same color wearing the same uniform as the boy. Next to him was another blond boy with a blue scarf on his forehead, wearing the same uniform as the blond boy. Behind him was a blonde girl wearing a white sweater, and next to him was a blonde girl with pigtails. The group was walking on a street, and behind them was the Tokyo Tower. Even if I'm alone, I'll be able to see the New Year's Eve. You see a white-haired boy, white skin, wearing a white button-down shirt and black pants. Next to him was a black-haired boy in a black suit, white pants and a brown trench coat. Around him there were many people, all looking straight ahead. Haha yo keshai wer ha. Na maida wa misanetimo. Ryu, Rito and Sakura are seen sitting on chairs and they were surrounded by girls. Then it changes to a scene of them alone in a dark room. I'm going to die in Ashimoto's house. Issei is seen in a dark alley, leaning on the wall of the alley, and the scene of Issei with a serious face showing the mark of the eyes dragon would change. Chapter 4: Rescuing Magari and Murdering in Air. In a traditional Japanese room, inside the room you could see a couple lying on a futon. On the futon you could see a brunette lying down, and a red-headed girl next to him. You woke up, Rias, Issei said to Rias. Yes, Issei, no better said, love, or would you prefer me to call you master? Said Rias. I prefer that you call me Issei when the girls and you are alone with me. Call me love when we are in public, Issei said jokingly to his girlfriend. Okay, Rias said smiling. Well, now we have to meet with Yasaka to prepare the plan. Issei said to stand up, but an extra weight was on his body. Akeno came out of the futon with her hair loose and her typical smile. Good morning, Issei, said Akeno standing in front of Issei. Akeno, said Rias, annoyed by the former Queen Gremory's actions. Era Rias, don't think badly, I'm just saying good morning to my master, and remember that you're not the only one who slept with Issei, said Akeno laughing. On the futon was not only Rias, but also Akeno and Asia, who was sleeping very peacefully. And of course, they had the Sekurudai mark on their bodies. How did this happen? After finishing calling searches, the girls were talking about who would sleep with Issei. The winners were Rias, Akeno, and Asia, leaving the other girls aside with a sad and defeated look, and after that daily hours of hex, giving themselves to Issei body and soul, becoming his females and servants. Of course, Issei used the copy ability on her, getting the power of destruction of Rias, the holy rays of Akeno, and the healing ability of Asia, but low. According to what Dryag explained to him, Katsuma's copy ability could also copy the abilities of Sacred Gear but with low power. Rias's power of destruction, the holy lightning, and Asia's healing ability, these abilities can be useful to me, but I have to practice them to be able to unleash their great potential, and I also have to train the healing ability. It is very useful to me for when I am in battle, but first I have to prepare the plan and start the next phase of my plan. Issei thought seriously, leaving aside the girls who were at his sides. Okay, that's enough. We have to prepare the plan. Get Asia up, Issei said seriously. Also, stop calling me master. Since when are you my servants? Issei said seriously, and the girls just laughed at that. Meanwhile, elsewhere, in a training room, the sound of someone hitting a punching bag could be heard. The person hitting her was a girl with light blue hair and red eyes, wearing a red training jacket. Ah, the girl shouted, kicking the bag hard. I need to get stronger to beat Valle. The girl thought to hit harder, sending him almost flying. Plat plat plat. Applause was heard from someone behind the girl. She saw an albino boy with yellow eyes. It was Valle clapping. Well done as always, dear sister, the best ain't Lucifer. Opening. Even if you go to the world with yourself. The eye dragon mark is shown on Issei's eye and it began to glow. What kind of soba is this? Issei's memories were seen before being betrayed by the factions. 2. Issei is seen in his uniform. Around him there was a blue sky and he had a slightly sad expression. Next to him was the silhouette of an older woman, and next to her was a girl with orange hair. The sky would change to a dark one and the silhouette of a masked man appeared along with Issei. The person who died by Mitsum. A masked man in a purple and black suit is seen standing on a building and he turns around revealing his cape. Maya Nagara Nea Managara Kwaya Managara Kimariba 2. The entire Gremry clan is seen appearing from one side to the other plus Kuroka, a blonde-haired girl with pigtails wearing a white dress, a blue-haired girl, a blonde man with black tips in his hair and other girls. Kimi Jie Kurita Hitatsata Madu Wakizar. Ryu, Rito, Sakura and Alexander are seen along with the faction leaders and then the scene changes to Issei along with the female members of the Gremry clan plus Kuroka, the blonde girl, the others, Yasaka and Kunu, they were all in the Yukai faction. The light shines on my roommates. Issei is seen on a hill and he activates his dragon eyes and then smiles. Miyajita Ozora is a great success. Issei is seen in his balance breaker fighting an army of demons, and then changes to a scene of Issei taking out a strange silver sword and a green aura surrounding him. Tozashita Mado wa Hiraka Kodo Kameda. You could see all of Issei's girls launching their best attacks. The blonde she launched fireballs, the blue-haired girl launched ice blasts, the blonde man launched dark attacks, and the others launched their attacks. Even if you go to the world with yourself. Rias is seen launching the power of destruction at searches. Issei is seen riding a horse in a landscape, and the scene changes showing a Ryu with a confident and arrogant smile. What kind of soba is this? The masked man is seen at sunset. He would take off his mask revealing his identity. It was Issei and he put on a serious look. Findel opening. Oh, so here you were, Valle, said Ain seriously. Oh, come on, don't use tone with your dear older brother, said Valle. You know you stopped being my brother when you and the factions decided to betray the only one who understood me and decided to be my friend, said Ain thinking about a chestnut tree. You know he did it to restore the Lucifer bloodline, but first I need to get rid of Rizavim and kill Issei to have his women, Valle said with a smile. Seriously, the last thing is that's why you stopped being my brother and also you have a girlfriend. Why do you want the Gremry girls? Ain said seriously. To be a strong offspring. I know there are strong women in the underworld, but most of them don't interest me. The Mao Leviathan is strong, but her childish attitude doesn't attract me. Not even the descendant of Agars because of her cold attitude. The Citrus don't attract me because they have little power. There is no demon girl from the underworld that interests me besides the Gremry, and that's why I want them in my hands, and for that I must get rid of Issei, said Valle smiling arrogantly. Suddenly he dodged a blow from Ain, who looked at him with an angry face. Hey, did you try to hit me? Valle said with a confident smile. Yes, said Ain to give him a kick that he almost received. I won't let you kill Issei, Ain said to hit him in the face, but a magic circle appeared in her ear. It seems they're calling me your lucky Valle, said Ain as she left the training room, unaware that this call was the next phase of Issei's secret plan. With Issei and the others. The girls could be seen together with Yasaka in a room. They were waiting for a certain brunette. Issei is taking too long, said Rias. What is he doing? Said Zenobia. He told me he was going to make a call, Asia said. Era, who is she calling? I hope she's not some slut, said Akeno. What were you talking about? Said Issei's voice entering the room. Era, it seems you're done, said Akeno, seeing Issei enter. Yeah, I finished what I was doing, Issei said, sitting down. Now let's plan the exchange, Issei said, smiling. Minutes later. So you want me to lend you one of my soldiers in case they try to attack a Jiu-Jitsu expert to deceive the factions, Yasaka said. That's right, and for that I need someone to pretend to be me, Issei said seriously. But there is something that worries him, is that whoever pretends to be you gets hurt or worse yet dead. That is what worries him the most, said Yasaka. It would be Issei's plan. Don't worry, no one here will get hurt, except for some members of the factions, just trust me, Issei said seriously, looking into her eyes. Okay, after all I said I would trust you, Yasaja said. I have called someone who can help you in your plan to rescue Magari, said Yasaka, and the classroom door slid open, letting in a girl with black hair tied to a ponytail with a pink bow, wearing a female school uniform and a katana at her waist. Her name is Himari, she will help you in the exchange, said Yasaka, introducing the girl. Nice to meet you, Himari called, one of Magari-sama's strongest guardians. I will help you in your plan, Himari said. Okay, can you pick me up? Issei said seriously, and the girl sighed. A light lit up the entire room, and when it disappeared another Issei could be seen. Okay, you can join, Issei said, smiling. Kuroka, Issei called the Nikomata. Here I am, Issei-sama, said Kuroka at his side. Have the messengers arrived with Magari yet? Issei said seriously. I was informed that they arrived with Magari, said Kuroka. Okay, let's go, Issei said, and everyone nodded. Hours later. In a lonely forest you could see Kiba, Saji and Ain along with Magari, who was handcuffed. They were gathered at the point that Issei asked, in a lonely forest without people or yokais. Why did you ask us to meet here? Saji said seriously. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. The important thing is that Kuroka hands over Issei. If not, she will die, said Kiba, pointing with his Magari sword. I know they'll hand Issei over, I'm very sure, Ain said. I hope so, said Saji seriously and smiling. Meanwhile, Alexander could be seen on a cliff, and in front of him could be seen the forest where the exchange was going to take place. Finally, Issei has been captured. I imagine the thousands of things I will do to him and the girls who accompanied him, said Alexander with a sinister look and imagining the tortures he was going to do to Issei. Alexander-sama, the Nikomata and the traitor have arrived, said one of the demons accompanying him. Great, said Alexander, smiling. In the forest, a magic circle appeared in front of Kiba, Saji and Ain. From there Issei, Himari, came out being tied up, and next to him was Kuroka. Ha, hello Hayadu, how long has it been since you escaped? Said Saji. Issei, you will finally be locked up in Tartarus while I take Zenobia crazy, said Kiba, smiling. Don't worry, Asia will be fine with me when I get her engaged and implant my seed in her, Saji said, smiling. Calm down, Issei, I'll be with you, Ain thought, looking at Issei. I hope it works, Issei. Himari thought, nervous about Issei's plan. Flashback. You could see Issei and Himari turned into Issei. He was talking to her about what would happen in the exchange. Himari, when they have handed over Magari, or if they try to make a suspicious movement, I want you to snap your fingers, and thus the rescue of Magari-sama will be fulfilled, said Issei seriously. Wait, why do you want me to snap your fingers? And what do you mean by if they make any suspicious movements? Himari said seriously. Let's just say that there will be reinforcements that will help us escape, and I'm not just talking about yokais. If they make a suspicious movement, let's say that they won't fulfill part of the exchange, Issei said seriously, making Himari nervous. End of flashback. I hope your plan works, Himari thought nervously. Okay, I brought Issei as you requested, now release Magari-sama, said Kuroka seriously. Hand over Issei first, and we'll hand over Magari to you, Kiba said smiling. We'll do it on the count of 3, said Kuroka. 1, 2, 3, Kuroka said seriously, and both of them released each other. Issei, Himari, and Nagari walked to meet their respective messengers. Suddenly Kiba took out a gun, and he was pointing at Magari. What? Kuroka said in shock. Magari, die! Kiba shouted as he started shooting. With this we will start the war against the Yukai faction, ha ha ha. Alexander laughed. And oh, Kuroka shouted to get closer. Now! Himari shouted, closing her eyes and snapping her fingers. Himari looked around, seeing that no one was there. What do you mean? By Issei, Himari. Hey Himari, look below you, Kuroka said in shock. Issei, Himari, saw that below him were Kiba, Saji and Ain kneeling? We are at your service, Issei-sama, they both said seriously. H, Greedo Issei, Himari, sorprendida. With Issei. The chestnut was hidden somewhere in the forest. He saw everything from a magic circle and with a smile on his face. Ha 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 ha, phase 3 of my secret plan was accomplished, said Issei smiling at the scene. Flashback. Ain could be seen walking in a dark alley. She had a worried look. Come on, Issei, quickly before they suspect me, Ain said a little hurriedly. Oh, Ain-san, said a familiar voice to the girl. Behind her was Kiba. Ah yes, it's Sir Gremory, what are you doing here? Said Ain. I was going to ask you the same thing. I'm here because I received a message from Tsubaki-san to meet her here, said Kiba. Kiba, Ain, said a familiar voice. PF them, and from there came Saji. Oh yes, the Pawn Citri, said Ain referring to Saji. What are you doing here? Kiba said. I got a call from Kaisho to meet us here, Saji said. This is very strange, said Ain would-be. What about? Kiba said curiously. That he has gathered us in one place and no one comes, said Ain seriously. Well, for me it's a little weird, said Kiba. Who do you think is a trap? Said Saji. Of course it's a trap, said a voice behind them. From the shadows came Issei. Issei/Hayadu. They both said the brown-haired boy's name. Hey guys, how long has it been since we last saw you? Issei said, greeting those present. What are you doing here? Kiba said seriously, taking out his sword. Relax, I'm not here to fight, Issei said to those present. Then, said Saji, activating his sacred gear. I just came to see if you wanted to join me, Issei said. Ha ha ha, how yes, how no, said Kiba and Saji. And I would join you, but I can't now, sorry, Issei. Ain thought a little sadly. Okay, if that's the case, kneel. Issei activated his dragon eyes and the three of them knelt in front of Issei. What the hell? Kiba said on his knees. I can't move, said Saji, trying to move. What the hell? Said Ain. Now look me in the eyes. Issei ordered the three and they obeyed against their will. Issei Hayada orders you to become my servants, Issei ordered the three. Kiba, Saji and Ain's eyes had the mark of the Eyes Dragon on their left eye. We are at your service, Issei-sama, they said, kneeling. Ha ha ha, phase 2 of the secret plan completed, ha ha ha, Issei said, laughing. End of the flashback. Surprised, aren't you? Issei said, approaching his double. What happened? Said Himari, returning to how she was before. It's part of my secret plan, Issei said, smiling. Secret plan? Himari said, confused. I can't tell you because it's private, Issei said, smiling. And now, Issei said, smiling as he approached his servants. Tell me where Alexander Agar's is, Issei said seriously. It's on a cliff not so close, Kiba said to Issei. Okay, take me to him, Issei ordered his servants. Understood, they said seriously. You guys go and leave Magari to the Yukai faction, Issei said seriously. What are you going to do? Himari said. I'll just go say hi to Alexander and ask him to tell me a couple of things, Issei said as he left. Issei Hayadu, what are you planning? Said Himari, looking at Issei. Elsewhere. They're taking too long, Alexander said, a little annoyed. Alexander-sama, said one of the demons behind Alexander. What's wrong? Alexander said to the demon. We are being attacked by the Gremry demons and the Hakaruka's sister, said one of the demons. What did you say? Alexander said in shock. Suddenly one of the guards flew out in front of Alexander. Kiba, Saji, and Ain came out of the forest. Hey, what does this mean? Said Alexander. One of the guards attacked Kiba, but he blocked it with his sword. Saji used his sacred gear to tie up a guard, and Ain hit them with a blow that knocked them out. How could they do that? Do they want to die? Alexander said, annoyed by the three's actions. We do it for our master, said the three. And who is your master? Said Alexander. That's me, said a familiar voice. Issei came out of the forest with his eyes dragon. Issei, said Alexander. Are you the master of these traitors? Alexander said seriously. Something like that, said Issei. And why are you here? Alexander said, serious about what Issei was going to say. I came to talk to you, said Issei, confusing Alexander. What about? Said Alexander. All about the faction's plans. What are they planning? Issei said seriously. Do you think I'll tell you the faction's plans? I'd rather die than tell you, said Alexander, preparing a magic attack, but Ain grabbed his wrist. Yug, Gruno Alexander. I'll tell you once more, tell me the faction's plans, Issei said seriously. Buck you, Alexander said angrily. I see then, he said to activate his dragon eyes. What? Alexander said in shock, seeing Issei's eyes. Issei Hayate orders you to tell me the faction's plans. Issei ordered Alexander, and his eyes changed. Yes, the factions plan to dominate the other factions in the future to keep their soldiers and weapons. In the future they will plan to conquer the human world for fun, said Alexander seriously. What? Issei said in shock at what he just heard. The factions were planning to conquer the other factions, and in the future they were planning to conquer the human world. Alexander's eyes returned to normal, and he looked at Issei. Hey, what happened? Said Alexander, looking around. You, Issei said, annoyed as he grabbed the collar of his shirt. Tell me, is it true that they plan to conquer the other factions? Said Issei seriously and angrily. Wait, how do you know that? Alexander said seriously. So it's true, Issei said, leaving him and walking away. Ain, grab Alexander by the neck, Issei said seriously, and the girl just nodded and Ain grabbed Alexander by the neck. Wait, what are you going to do to me? Alexander said nervously. Ain will kill you if I ordered it, Issei said seriously. No, wait, I can give you everything: money, women, a title of nobility. I can even allow you to be my right hand. What do you say? Said Alexander, trying to convince Issei. It's late, you're going to die here, and your death is part of my secret plan, Issei said seriously. I hope the factions or the humans kill you, Alexander said in his final moments. Go ahead, let the factions come for me, they will all fall. I do not care if I have to face the Onmyoji's family, the Onmyoji Academy, or the Libra organization, or organizations like the Armed Detective Agency and other organizations, or the Royal Bible Academy, or assassins like Night Raid or the Jiggers or another organization or academy, or the Vanitas or the warriors descended from heroes. Each and every one of them will fall before me, said Issei seriously, looking at Alexander. Kill him, Ain, Issei ordered the girl, and crack. The sound of a broken neck was heard. That was how Alexander Agar's, Rias' childhood friend, Sikveria's older brother and heir to the Agar's clan, had died. Mission to rescue Magari, completed. Phase 4 of the secret plan, success, Issei said, smiling. Well, everything is ready. Alexander's murder at the hands of Ain and the recorded video edited, said Issei, looking at Kiba, who was recording everything from a magic circle. Kiba, send the video to searches, Issei said seriously, and the blonde nodded. Well, I think it's time to go, Issei said, to leave, but not before approaching Ain. I'm sorry, Ain, sorry if I'm using you to fulfill my plan, but when all this is over, you, me, and the girls will be together, I promise, said Issei to give her a kiss on the cheek. We'll see each other again, Ain. Issei said goodbye and he snapped his fingers back to normal after 3 seconds. Hey, what happened? Said Ain looking. I don't know, Kiba said. My head hurts, said Saji. Suddenly magic circles surrounded Ain and demons came out of there. Ain Lucifer, you are under arrest for the murder of the heir of Agars, one of the guards said to Ain. How the hell? Ain screamed in shock. Ending. Ikeda's son, Tora, and I are the only ones who have been able to live with the children of the Akane family. Issei could be seen sitting on a large hill while he was looking at the landscape. Even though I was still young. I was still young and I was still young. The scene changes showing a child Issei. He had an angry expression, and behind him were 2 people and 3 small children looking at Issei. The Sakadatsu and Ira no Nyanai Sanaka wa Iba. Mayu no Hideo no Maiju wa Izanami. Rias and all the members of the Gremory clan could be seen sitting in the occult club room. The first. Yum is a shy person. A blue-haired girl is seen sitting on a chair, and it was dark around her, and in front of her was a fence. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Issei is seen as a child being accompanied by an orange-haired girl. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. A blonde boy with black tips is seen, a 5-pointed star on his cheek, wearing a black uniform. Next to him was a girl with purple hair and eyes of the same color wearing the same uniform as the boy. Next to him was another blonde boy with a blue scarf on his forehead, wearing the same uniform as the blonde boy. Behind him was a blonde girl wearing a white sweater, and next to him was a blonde girl with pigtails. The group was walking on a street, and behind them was the Tokyo Tower. Even if I'm alone, I'll be able to see the New Year's Eve. You see a white-haired boy, white skin, wearing a white button-down shirt and black pants. Next to him was a black-haired boy in a black suit, white pants and a brown trench coat. Around him there were many people, all looking straight ahead. Haha yo keshai wer ha. Namaida wa misanedimo. Ryu, Rito and Sakura are seen sitting on chairs and they were surrounded by girls. Then it changes to a scene of them alone in a dark room. I'm going to die in Ashimoto's house. Issei is seen in a dark alley, leaning on the wall of the alley, and the scene of Issei with a serious face showing the mark of the eyes dragon would change. At night. Hours after Alexander's murder. Apparently there was a conflict here, said a female voice. Yeah, what happened here? Said a male voice. The moonlight began to shine on the strangers, and from there they saw 2 young men in uniforms. Chapter 5. Animes that will appear. Here are the names of the anime that will appear in the series. Tokyo Ravens, Bunga Stray Dogs, Akame Ga Kill, Kekai Sensen, Trinity Sevens, Black Bullet, Mudun to Vanitas, Sosen no Onmyaji, Fate Series, The New Testament. And finally, a few words from Issei, the protagonist of the Eyes Dragon series. Watching the videos, I have to say they show great potential. They would be perfect allies to finish off the factions, but the problem would be how to convince them to join me. Should I use my dragon eyes or fight them? I need to think about it and come up with a strategy to defeat them while I sit on my future throne. What awaits them when they meet Issei? Issei's future enemies or Issei's future allies? Will they join Issei to take down the factions that want to destroy the other factions and humanity? Or will Issei use his dragon eyes on them? Will the men kneel before Issei's power and the women will become his females? What are the odds of Issei winning against them? Will he emerge victorious or will he lose? Chapter 6-0. Darkness, darkness in the sky you could see. A house being burned down, where the only inhabitant was a boy with brown hair and honey-colored eyes. Ha, help, please, please. The child was crying and calling for help. Suddenly a board fell on top of the boy, but he didn't move in the slightest. No, I want to die. The boy kept crying and the fire was surrounding him. The board was about to hit the child, but something stopped it. You are not destined to die, said a voice unknown to him. The boy saw a black silhouette. His face was not visible. You cannot die, because you are destined to rule, to be a being that will rule all the factions, to be a king that will bring peace to both worlds, or to be a tyrant that will bring destruction to both worlds. That will depend on the path you take. Tell me, will you take the path of destruction or peace? Said the silhouette with a serious voice. Issei could be seen awakened from his long sleep. He just put on a serious face. That dream again. Every time I sleep I always dream about that moment in my life that I want to forget, said Issei, getting up. Issei saw that on the futon were Rasweiss, Kaneko, Zenobia, Asia, Rias and Akeno sleeping. The brown-haired boy just watched the scene with a smile, and the memories of how he deflowered the girls appeared in his head. It would be nice to start a family with all the girls, but with our current situation nothing can be done. If I want to live a life with the girls I have to become stronger, said Issei seriously. Suddenly the memories of his dream appeared in his mind. Be a king or be a tyrant? Honestly, I don't like the idea of being a ruler. The only thing that matters to me is having a quiet life, but I have to take two paths, that of peace or destruction. Peace brings love, tranquility, but makes you weak and vulnerable to your enemies. Destruction brings evil and makes you the most powerful being of all time, but each time you become corrupted and you become a being that has no compassion for anyone. Is what that guy said true? Said Issei seriously, looking at the moon. Opening. He could be seen strolling through the streets of Kyoto to clear his mind of the dream he had. Kyoto is a good place to go sightseeing, said Issei, walking through the streets of Kyoto. You said it, boy. It is a very beautiful place. Humans really do have good taste, said Dryac to Issei. Yes, I know, said Issei, walking. How about we move to this place? Said Dryac. Dryac, Issei said, a little annoyed. I know. First finish off the factions and we'll have the quiet life we want so much, said Dryac. He understood what Issei meant. Well, leaving Dryac aside, I want you to tell me something, Issei said seriously. I'm all ears, mate, said Dryac. Could you tell me the disadvantages and weaknesses of the Ice Dragon? Said Issei seriously, and Dryac just started thinking. I really don't know what the Ice Dragon's weaknesses are, said Dryac seriously. Hey, really? Issei said, surprised. Yes, and it's because the former bearers only gave standing orders to everyone like you're my servant for life, and other orders that I don't remember, Dryac explained. Damn, if I don't discover the weaknesses of this ability I won't be able to know when to use it or who can use it, said Issei seriously. And an idea came to him. I know, Issei said, smiling. What came to your mind? Said Dryac. Dryac, you said that the former bearers of the Ice Dragon only gave permanent orders, but they gave an order that is not permanent. Like that, you answer my questions, said Issei seriously. Not really, said Dryac. Then I'll try it, Issei said as he walked again. Let's see, who am I going to use as a test subject? Said Issei, looking everywhere. 5. Issei accidentally bumped into someone. Excuse me, I didn't notice where I was, said a female voice. The brown-haired boy saw a pretty purple-haired girl with blue eyes, wearing an academy uniform. It's not my fault for not looking where I was walking, Issei said apologetically. Issei just smiled when he saw her. What are you planning to do? Dryac said to Issei. You'll know, Issei thought. I have to go, I'm in a hurry. The girl said to leave, but she would be stopped by Issei. What's wrong? Said the girl nervously. I'm sorry, I have something to tell you, Issei said seriously. Yes? Said the girl, a little blushed. Issei Hayada orders you to kiss me, said Issei, activating his dragon eyes on the girl. Yes, said the girl, controlled by the Ice Dragon. Issei and the girl approached to kiss in a passionate kiss. Her expression is very cute when I kiss her, Issei thought as he kissed the girl. 5 minutes passed and the two separated due to lack of air and leaving a trail of saliva in their mouths. It really felt good, Issei said, licking his lips. It even tasted like strawberry, Issei thought, smiling. What were you doing? Said the girl, confused and free from the Ice Dragon's control. I'll try again, Issei said seriously. Excuse me, miss, said Issei to use the dragon eyes on the girl. Issei Hayate orders you to kiss me, said Issei using the eyes dragon again. But. Hey PPP, why do you say that? Said the blushing girl. Hey, Issei and Dryag said confused. I need to go, I'm running late, said the girl as she left at full speed. What just happened? Dryag said in surprise. It doesn't matter, now we know a weakness of the eyes dragon, said Issei smiling. Now let's discover another weakness, said Issei walking. Hey Dryag, I've been wondering about how to activate the dragon eyes, said Issei. And what is it? Said Dryag. The spell is very long and I'm also using my name to use it, it could be a big problem for me, Issei said seriously. And I was wondering if I could shorten it or just give an order like the ability to control people's will, Issei said. I'm not very sure, but I think you can shorten it or just give an order. I think in case you're not noticing, every time you give an order the controlled person has the mark of the eyes dragon in their eyes, said Dryag seriously. It's true, every time I use the dragon eyes on someone the mark of the dragon eyes appears in their eye, but giving a short order means using the ability to control the will of people. But what will happen if I just say the sentence as I ordered you to be my servant or disappear from my sight? Said Issei. I think the same effect would happen, I don't know, remember that my users only gave standing orders, sorry I can't be of help, said Dryag. It doesn't matter Dryag, the important thing now is how to use the dragon eyes ability, said Issei smiling. Ha ha ha, you are a good person, said Dryag sarcastically. Now we will need a test subject, said Issei. How about that female over there? Said Dryag, and Issei looked in front of a pink-haired girl. What if the… He was interrupted by Issei. What was it, creature, get out of my sight, said Issei running back. And now? Said Dryag confused. Oh, you'd rather I said get that hitch out of my face, Issei said. I mean, why did you run away from that female? Said Dryag. My instinct told me that I should get away from her. Besides, if it were Tiamat, I'm sure you would run away, said Issei as if nothing had happened and making Dryag tremble. Whatever, who will you use as your test subject? Said Dryag. Issei saw a cute black-haired girl pass by. Are you thinking the same thing as me? Issei said smiling. Ha ha ha, of course mate, said Dryag. Well now, Issei said as he approached the girl. Excuse me, said Issei, getting the girl's attention. Yes? Said the girl. Could you kiss me? Said Issei, activating his dragon eyes. As you command, said the girl, controlled by the eyes dragon. Issei and the girl brought their faces closer to kiss each other in a passionate kiss. 5 minutes later the couple separated due to lack of air, their tongues forming a thread of saliva. A French kiss would have been better, but it's okay, Issei said as he left the girl, who was now free from the effects of the dragon eyes. Now I know how to use this power, it's time to go. He couldn't continue because he saw a blonde girl walk past him. Dryag, said Issei. What's wrong? Said Dryag. I think I'm going to have some fun, Issei said as he left. I hope your females don't find out, said Dryag, worried about what Issei was going to do. 1 hour later. Issei could be seen sitting on a bench. It was really fun, Issei said smiling. Buddy, if your females find out what you did, they'll castrate you badly, said Dryag seriously. I think you're right, I went a little too far, don't you think? Issei said in an amused tone. A little? Haha, yeah, sure, you've kissed 6 girls in one day. First that purple-haired girl, then that black-haired girl, then that blonde, and then you continued with that cold girl. Yes, that girl with a cold look, her lips were very good, said Issei, licking his lips. And then that blonde female with red eyes, also with a cold look, said Dryag. She really was very cute, her lips were just as good, Issei said smiling. And finally that maid who was a little clumsy, said Dryag. She really was cute, it made me want to kiss her even more, Issei said, licking his lips. Do you think you're from that show called Lucifer? Said Dryag. Oh come on Dryag, I'm not that flirtatious, or am I? said Issei, imitating Lucifer Morningstar's smile. Oh yeah, now all that's missing is for the series music to start, said Dryag, and out of nowhere, one of the songs from the series began to be heard. I take it back, said Dryag. Issei saw a couple in the background listening to music with a radio. Well, leaving aside everything that just happened, now I know how to use the dragon eyes. It's time to go with the girls, they must be worried, said Issei as he left the place. Meanwhile, Underworld. Ain could be seen chained. In front of her were some bars implying that she was in a prison, but not a normal one, but rather in Tartarus. Damn, locked up here in Tartarus for murdering Agar's heir. Is the life of an heir so important? Ain said in a cold tone. And worst of all, no one believes me that I didn't kill him, but someone sent a video of me killing the heir of Agar's. Who was the bastard who framed me? Ain said, cold and angry, wanting to kill the bastard who framed her. Wow, I never thought I'd see my little sister here in jail, said a familiar voice. In front of her stood Vala with a smile. Oh yes, it's you, Valley, the fighting addict and the dragon who wants to steal Issei's girlfriends, said Ain. As cold and foul-mouthed as ever, I only came to see you if you were feeling lonely, Vala said to his younger sister. Well, I don't need anything from you, all I want is to kill the bastard who blamed me, Ain said angrily. Ain, you know you can't do that. You're locked up in Tartarus and you don't know who the person is who framed you. Okay, now leaving the conversation aside, I want to tell you something, Vala said seriously. And what is it? Ain said, looking at Vala. For killing Alexander Agar's, one of the heirs of the most important clans of the underworld, the Council of the Underworld has declared that they will execute you tomorrow. In the city of Lilith, your executioners will be the deadly sins, the strongest generals of the underworld, said Vala seriously. It was to be expected, after all they believe that I killed Agar's, said Ain. But the Council of the Underworld decided to make you a condition for being my sister and having the blood of the true Lucifer. That you be the fiancé of Ryu or an important heir to have strong offspring, or look for Hayate Issei and deliver his head to the underworld, said Vala smiling. I recommend you choose the second option, after all you will be. I reject the conditions, Ain said coldly. I will not listen to a group of mummies who only want power and for others to do their dirty work. I will not marry anyone, not even that idiot Ryu, and I will not kill Issei because he was the only person who made me see light in the darkness since our parents died. You want to make offspring by power while I do not want to do it by power but because I love Issei, Ain said seriously, looking at Vala. Tis they gave you another chance to live and you reject it. That idiot Issei tamed you completely. You even look like his girlfriend, said Vala. How I would like to be his girlfriend, whispered Ain. Ah, but well, I just wanted to tell you that. See you, little sister. It was a pleasure having taken care of you and protected you. Enjoy your last moments. Goodbye, Ain Lucifer, said Vala to leaving the girl alone. Issei, I hope you save me, Ain said in a low voice. Meanwhile, what are they going to execute Ain tomorrow? Issei said, surprised by what he just heard. Issei same, Kuroka said seriously. I knew it was a good idea to send you to the underworld to gather information, Issei said. What can we do, Issei? Rias said seriously. Very easy, to rescue Ain and tell her to join us, said Issei. Ah, the girls said in shock. Don't be stupid, Issei. Do you have any idea how many soldiers there will be? Said Rosweiss. I know, that's why I need your help to rescue Ain, Issei said seriously. The mission to rescue Ain and prevent her execution has begun. Start of Phase 5 of the secret plan begins, said Issei seriously. Issei took out his cell phone to make a call. Hello, long time no see, said Issei. I need to ask you a favor, said Issei. I want you to make me a suit and lend me a machine, Issei said seriously. The next day. Underworld. You could see the people of the underworld, or rather the demons, gathered in Lilith Plaza. All of them were as if they were going to a festival, although it really wasn't. At the entrance to Lilith Square you could see a blue-haired girl. She was wearing a straitjacket while she was chained. The demon holding her was a blonde girl with curved horns. She was wearing a white dress and had a spear in her hand. Other girls accompanied her on her sides. I hope you die. Murderess. You don't deserve to be a descendant of the true Lucifer. I hope you die. The demons threw comments and insults at Ain. So this is my end, said Ain. Meanwhile, someone was in the dark wearing a suit. Ain Lucifer, you, like Rias and the girls, are very important people to me. When we met, you were a foul-mouthed girl, but over time, our friendship grew and you became someone friendly. You even saved me from dying at the hands of the factions. Issei said, remembering that time he was attacked by the factions but Ain saved him from a quick death. After this I no longer need a way back, Issei said as he put on a mask. In the underworld. General Lucy of the 7 Deadly Sins, said one of the soldiers informing the blonde. What's wrong? Lucy said seriously. Detected demonic magic ahead of you, said the soldier. Is that someone from the Chaos Brigade? Lucy said. We don't know, but I feel a demonic presence. What do we do? The soldier said to the general. Hell, what idiots, let them go, I'll teach them a lesson, Lucy said confidently. Stop! Lucy ordered and the girls stopped. What's up, One-sama? Said a purple-haired girl. They reported demonic presences, be prepared. Lucy ordered the other girls and they all stood on guard. A magic circle with a strange symbol in the middle appeared in front of the girls. From the magic circle appeared a masked man. He had a purple-black helmet, a black and purple suit with yellow stripes and a cape of the same color and red below. The demons were surprised to see him. I am Zero, said Issei with the nickname Zero. Zero? Lucy said confused. Elsewhere you could see the entire Phoenix clan, Baal, Agars and Citri watching everything from a magic circle just as the Maos were watching everything. Zero? Said Searches. Who is he? Said Seraphal. In Grigory and in heaven the angels and fallen saw everything from a magic circle. As if nothing appears? In front of everyone? Said Azazel seeing. What's he doing? Said Michael. Elsewhere, several shadows could be seen watching the scene from a room. Who could it be? Ain said, looking at Zero. Ain, I'm going to settle my debt with you, Zero said to the girl. All right, Zero. You're finished, Lucy said. Then several magic circles appeared and from there came out guards surrounding Zero. Now let's start with you taking off that mask, Lucy said, pointing her spear at Zero. Zero put his hand on it. The demons thought he was going to take off his mask, but... Clack! Zero snapped his fingers and a magic circle appeared behind Zero, and behind him appeared a capsule. What? The girls said in surprise. This capsule contains a poison capable of killing any living being, no matter who it is. If they attack me, the capsule will release a poisonous gas, Zero explained. Although it is actually a lie, this capsule is only used to deceive the enemy. It is good for ambushes or facing the enemy's front, Issei thought, smiling under his helmet. This guy, he's taken every citizen of this place hostage, Lucy said angrily and without hesitation pointed her spear at Zero. Are you going to attack me? You should know that I have taken all the demons present as hostages, Zero said confidently, and Lucy just under his spear. Tisk okay, your terms? Lucy said. A trade, this thing for Ain Lucifer, said Zero. Nonsense! That girl is accused of murdering the heir of Agars. There's no way I should hand him over, Lucy said. No. You're wrong, Lucy. That girl isn't the culprit. The one who killed Alexander, it was me, Zero declared after killing Alexander. When he said that, many were shocked. What? They all said upon hearing Issei's statement. Are you joking or are you telling the truth? If so, you should be locked in Tartarus for all eternity, Lucy said angrily. Are you sure? I'm going to announce it yellow, or should I call you orange? Zero commented, leaving the girls confused. Yellow? Said a pink-haired girl. What's that orange thing? Said a blonde woman. Suddenly Zero walked towards Lucy. Everything is set up for me to save Ain, and in case someone dies, if you don't want that to happen, Zero said. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Lucy said. Let us go, giving it your all, said Zero, opening a part of the helmet and activating his dragon eyes on Lucy, and so it was. HMMP understood. Hand over the girl, ordered Lucy, controlled by Issei's dragon eyes. Lucy, what are you saying? Said a red-haired girl. Hand over the girl, Lucy ordered again. Is that okay? Said a girl with short white hair. But said a blue-haired girl. Hand her over, no one interferes, Lucy ordered. Lucy of the 7 deadly sins, what are you saying? Said one of the angry council members. The other generals did not hesitate and released Ain, and she walked to where Zero was. Who are you? Said Ain would be. You'll know Ain, said Zero, and next to him appeared Rias with a mask. If we let them escape, said the red-haired girl, ready to attack. Zero, it's time, said Rias. Good. Then we'll talk later, Zero said, to take out a button, and without hesitation he pressed it, and the capsule expelled purple gas and people ran in panic. Damn terrorists, said the red-headed girl, and he went to attack Zero, but Lucy stopped her. Lucy, what are you doing? The girl said in shock. I already told you not to interfere, Lucy said seriously. Zero grabbed Ain by the waist and released his demon wings, and Rias did the same, and they both flew. From a house you could see a group of masked girls waiting for someone. There they are, said Asia's voice, pointing up. Zero along with Ain and Rias arrived where the girls were. Did you prepare the magic circle? He said. Zero was serious. Yes, the girls nodded. A large magic circle appeared below the girls. They won't escape, said the red-haired girl to attack them with her axe butt. You didn't hear my orders, don't interfere, said Lucy, colliding her spear with the girl's axe. And the masked men disappeared from the place. 2 hours later. The girls could be seen in a room talking. I seriously never thought Issei-kun would do such a thing, said Akeno. That's true, but it was because I wanted to save Ain-san, Asia said. By the way, where are they now? Said Zenobia. They're talking alone, Rias said. Fufu, it won't be that Issei-kun and Ain are having a good time, said Akeno. Enough, Akeno, said Rias, annoyed. Kan Issei wa Ain. Hello, Ain Lucifer, said Zero, looking at the girl. Who are you? Said Ain. Don't worry, I'm not a member of the Chaos Brigade, Zero said. Why did you rescue me? I don't know who you are, we've met before, said Ain, but Zero didn't respond. Unless you are, it won't be you, Issei, said Ain. Zero took off his helmet and showed it on Issei's face. Of all people, it had to be you, said Ain, looking at Issei. Now that you know, you're sure to tell everyone, said Issei. Of course not, the underworld doesn't matter to me anymore, and if I go there I'm sure they'll kill me, said Ain. I think you're right, Issei said. Well, now I want you to tell me why you framed me for killing Agars, said Ain, remembering Issei's statement. So what if I did it? Issei said. I can't believe you used me for your plan, Ain said. What did you expect, Ain? Said Issei. Nothing, leaving that aside, Ain said as she approached Issei and kissed him. That's because it was, Issei said in surprise. That was for saving you, and also, Ain said, to punch Issei in the abdomen. And this is for cheating on me, said Ain. I deserve it, I know, Issei said on his knees, and he got up. Well, leaving that aside, Ain Lucifer, do you want to join me? Issei said seriously. Let's say yes, Ain said without hesitation. It was to be expected, Issei said, smiling. Well now, but he was interrupted because Ain approached him. Ain, what's wrong? Said Issei. You know I'm still upset about what you did to me, so I want, said Ain, bringing her face closer to Issei's. Wait, do you really want to do this? Issei said. Exactly, so do it with me until you're empty, Ain said, kissing him again. Damn, what do I do now? I didn't want to do it again, otherwise the girls would castrate me. But if I refuse, I'll be great for sure. What do I do now? Issei thought seriously. As if by fate, his cell phone rang. Let me answer, said Issei, pushing Ain away, and he just got jealous because of that. Hello, said Issei. Really? Thank you very much, I appreciate it, said Issei as he hung up. You seriously set that ringtone for that girl and her friends, said Dryag. Oh come on, Dryag is a good song, and also because of the title of the song, because I have good friends in Tokyo, said Issei, amused. Ain, girls, get ready because we're going to Tokyo tomorrow, said Issei, calling the girls. Meanwhile, Tokyo. Okay, see you tomorrow, said a purple-haired girl. After a long time we will see Issei again, said the girl happily. Oh, so the boy named Issei will return? Said a blonde girl with pigtails. That's right, after a long time we will see Issei, said the girl. But why did Issei return to Tokyo? Said a brown-haired boy with a green scarf on his forehead. He told me it was because he needed some help, said the girl. Isn't it because I accepted the director's proposal to enroll at the academy? Said a blonde girl with a ponytail. I doubt it very much. After all, the last time he came to Tokyo he rejected the proposal to be a student of the academy, just as he rejected the proposal to be an onmyaji, despite not possessing spiritual power, said the serious boy. What you say is true, but let's wait tomorrow, said the girl, and the others felt. The next day. Issei's son. After 11 hours of travel the group then arrived in Tokyo without any problems. The trip was really long, said Ain. What did you expect, Ain? Tokyo is far away, Issei said, smiling. Well, what are we here for? Rias said. I just need the help of my onmyaji friends, said Issei, surprising the girls. You're going to see the boys from the onmyaji academy and family, but why? Akeno said. I just need a... But he was interrupted because out of nowhere. What the heck? Ain said, looking at the place. The place where they were now was no longer Tokyo, but it was very similar, only it was destroyed and a red sky was there. Where are we? Said Ain. Partner, it seems we're back here, said Dryag seriously. Here we go again, Issei said seriously, looking at the place.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.